Well, ladies and gentlemen, wouldn't you know it? Kamala is out here grinding rallies. She did 2 rallies today, one with Dark Brandon, who made a return. We're going to get to him, but Kamala Harris has the whole fake accent where she goes, it's like she adopts it. And I kind of stayed away from talking about it just because it's like, it's a little bit played out, but this is absurd. You can see there's multiple substances just today of her doing the fake accent based off of where she is.
Let's just get through the next 64 days. How about that?
Let's just get to the next 64 days. How about that? It's just weird. And then you've got her saying, what is this? She laughs as one of her supporters shouts about Trump going to jail. I didn't actually see this clip.
He's going to jail.
Well, the courts will handle that, and we will handle November. How about that?
Oh, there's a laugh.
We'll handle November. Let the courts handle that other thing.
And so here's the thing. This would be my opinion on the whole. Well, Trump went after Hillary when he really didn't. And I know people, liberals cope. They say, well, it's because Trump had nothing on Hillary. No, think about it. Trump is running his campaign. His supporters really like saying, lock her up. It riles them up. We get it. But when you get into the White House, it's like, do you really want to sit there and go through an entire legal process where now you attack a former presidential candidate that you just beat? It's like, maybe Trump should have done that considering what happened with the Russian hoax. And they literally spent 2.5 years on something that was fake, that was totally manufactured, where they didn't accept the results of the election, and they mired Trump's entire administration in it for until we got the Mueller report, and even then they still wouldn't shut up about it. So maybe Trump should have went after Hillary, but no, I mean, this is absolutely right. I mean, they're already doing it to Trump. They were trying to keep Trump off the ballot in multiple states. They were trying to make it so Republicans would be afraid that Trump was going to go to jail, and it totally backfired. It only made Republicans like Trump even more, so much so to the point where they can't even use the felon tagline on him, because when Democrats like Andrew Cuomo admitted that it was ridiculous, it's like, what do you even do now? You've got Democrats, the dude who was formerly running the state where Trump was prosecuted in and given the 34 felony charges, which were elevated from misdemeanors, from a dude that ran and got put into the position in Alvin Bragg to get Donald Trump. He's the one that elevated them. The entire thing stinks. And the crazy thing about that is, again, it's just they can't use the felon tagline. It doesn't work. Trump went up. It wasn't by anything crazy, but I mean, I think they were thinking, oh my God, he's a felon now. It's terrible. It only goes to show you how much they twist the law when it comes to Trump, him being the only felon to ever be president. Like, yeah, that's the worst thing. What he got prosecuted for and what is a felony, his crime, that's really the worst thing any president has ever done. It's just such gaslighting, man. And it shines a huge, huge magnifying glass on how they twist the law against Trump versus previous presidents and how badly they treat Trump, because they have the terrible TDS, Trump derangement syndrome, to the point where nothing matters. They don't care. Of course, they'll say they love democracy. It's just like Antifa saying they're anti-fascist. They go around beating people up. They're the only fascist group that does that in the United States, but they say they're anti-fascist. They say they love democracy. Meanwhile, they're trying to put Trump in jail, take him off ballots. When Republicans, I mean, we're the ones that had the primary. They didn't have any primary. They rigged it for Biden, and then they had to replace Biden because he was so bad, even though he won fair and square, because they were afraid they were going to lose. So they had to basically blackmail him, with Nancy Pelosi admitting she did just that, said, you know what, we might 25th Amendment you need to step down. It's over. Speaking of Biden, we do have Biden at one of these. Well, first you've got Lex Fridman. So Lex Fridman came out and did a podcast that has not been released, or he's either doing one or he just did one with Donald Trump. Maybe they just filmed it and it's releasing tomorrow. You guys know how these podcast things work, but he said he was doing a podcast with Trump. This was like 2 weeks ago. So again, I would imagine at some point within the next week or so, we know Trump has been doing a lot of podcasts. He did Theo Vaughn. This is another one. And you would think Rogan is going to be some point within the next month or so, especially with RFK Jr. endorsing Trump. That's going to help him with Rogan. Although I think Rogan wants Trump to go to his studio, and maybe there's a little bit of hang up there. But either way, you do have him coming out and saying he wants to have Kamala and Waltz on, and this is very good. And this is the exact same thing that Rogan should do if he has Trump on. You extend the olive branch to everyone because those people will never do something like this. It just goes to show you how weak they are. I mean, what have they ever appeared on a podcast? Have we seen either one of them do a press conference like Trump did 2 times in the past month and a half, where he's taking 45, 50 minutes of questions from random people in the press? It's just, it never happens. Remember when Biden did his press conference and it was all scripted? And I think Biden said, I believe this was right before Biden was stepping down and they were still trying to do it. Remember, they had Biden do all these different interviews to try and prove that he's still fit after the horrible debate. And Biden's got like cue cards on who to call on. And he's like, they're telling me I have to call on these people. The people that, are going to be nice to him and not ask him bad questions. That's how that Democrats do things. You can't, some people just, you won't get our question. Fox News, you're not going to get to ask us a question. But that's the party of democracy. And they're certainly, I mean, they're open about being not open. They certainly are. I mean, they said their top strategy, and Democrats endorsed this. I saw, someone go on Bill Maher, I think it was Quentin Tarantino, and he was like, listen, I mean, she just has to win. She doesn't have to share any of her actual promises or strategy or policies that she's going to implement. All we want her to do is win. So you want to talk about total anti-democracy? You're not even going to tell us what you're going to do. That is a complete nightmare, something that a dictator would do. They would say, no, you must vote for me, and then I'm going to force whatever I want onto you after I win, but you need to vote for me before I tell you. That is such wicked, such evilness here. What we're seeing from Democrats, it really is disgusting. And you've got this, here's Biden and Harris.
The next president of the United States of America.
Boy, Biden's gotten worse somehow. You know what? This outing for Biden in Pittsburgh, this will probably give him, I think he's earned another 3-week vacation. I think he should head back to Delaware. He's earned another one. Look at that kid in the background. Dude's got a mop. Kamala gets flustered. Oh, this, again with this.
We have dreams. We can see what is possible, unburdened by what has been.
Such a bad slogan that she brings out again. Grows up in Canada with 2 PhDs from parents. And, oh yeah, here it is again. Here's the accent.
You better thank a union member.
You better thank a union member.
You better thank a union member for sick leave. You better thank
Detroit.
a union member for pay
So now
leave.
she's got the
You better
blacker
thank
accent.
a union member for vacation time.
So now she's switched it now. I mean, at least she's got the accents down pat. Wow. Polling expert reveals Kamala Harris sinking ship after the latest polling update shows a Biden-level collapse. They thought at the time Pennsylvania would be the easiest, but now she's even down in Pennsylvania. Well, it looks like, if you're talking about the Rust Belt, it looks like Michigan is probably where they're polling the best right now, and Pennsylvania is probably going to be the hardest for them. Biden is officially back, greatest manufacturing city. Oh, this.
No longer be the manufacturing capital of the world. Where the hell is that written? We are the greatest manufacturing city, county in the world, state in the world, city in the world.
We are the greatest manufacturing county, city, state, world. Yeah.
Where is that written? We are the greatest manufacturing city,
look how close
county
that
in
dude
the world,
is.
state in the world, city in the world.
State in the world, county in the world, city in the world. Yeah, that's typical Biden. So yeah, they had their 2 rallies. I mean, I think Trump is having a rally on Friday, maybe. God, I forget where it was going to be. But listen, people are saying that Trump has really got to ramp up his rallies, and he's going to have 2 rallies a day. I don't know when that's starting, but it's obvious that it looks like Harris and Waltz. I saw Waltz was doing like a solo rally. Oh yeah, this was Walt. Jesus.
Up on a stick. I've traveled to a lot of state fairs. While Iowa has a nice one, it does not compare with Minnesota, and the pork chops here, the best.
What? Who? Yeah, that's his wife. But Walt was doing a rally as well. I don't know. I think he was doing a solo rally because I didn't see him there with Biden or Harris. So maybe he was somewhere else. But either way, there it is. There's Biden. People were wondering. I said I thought it was going to be 1, maybe 2 rallies where Biden would be with Harris. And so here's one. We'll have to see if he does another one. This has got to be like the first one that they've done since together since I don't know when. It's been a really long time. But either way, that's just what's been going on. Listen, I do think Trump needs to visually show that his movement, we all know it's way stronger than all of this fake crap. They get people. I mean, they were caught like 3 days ago. There was a segment on it. They were bussing people in to get to fill up the rally site. I mean, Trump needs to have a massive rally. We all know this. This is something that it's once every 4 years. Trump, he's at the point now, he almost got killed. He just needs to say, F it. I'm going to have a rally with 200K people and just blow these people out of the water, because it has to be such a contrast that shows you the level of Trump's movement right now compared to whatever this is. And so that's really what Trump needs to do instead of doing all these. I mean, you can do rallies, whatever, here and there, and go to Pennsylvania and things and fill out an arena. I don't even think they can fill out an arena. Remember, they had that one rally in Arizona and they couldn't sell it out. They had to block off sections of seating to cover up the empty seats. And that arena rally that they had, it was an invite rally from what I know. I mean, it makes no sense. It's a public arena that seats 20,000 people. What are you talking about invite? So that just goes to show you there's just nothing to this movement. But yeah, we got Biden and Harris together. We've got Dark Brandon out there campaigning after it was a 16-day vacation for Joe Biden, 16 days. And by the way, 3 of those days were the DNC. So he was vacationing as the president during his party's DNC, where he spoke on Monday night and then vacationed the next 16 days, staying in California and then hopping on on Air Force One and going to Delaware and spending like 9 straight days in Delaware. And now he's back for like 2 or 3 days, and I'm sure he'll be gone again. And he's saying Netanyahu needs to do more. Meanwhile, he's been gone for like 3 straight weeks. It's just funny. But this is where we're at right now in terms of American politics. So we will see what ends up happening here. But they did have a few rallies. That's going to do it for this video. Make sure you follow me on X. Link to that's always in the description.